Did you want to cover your Wagmi-san friend?
I absolutely want to cover Wagmi-san. So,
what have I missed? Have I missed something? Breaking news.
So,
everything is over.
We've got to talk about Wagmi-san, the beloved Japanese artisan of New Tokyo. So, as you'll remember, he was making mirrors, which are NFTs, aka Kagami in Japanese, which are NFTs where if you are lucky enough, having done some things to qualify to mint a mirror and pay money for the privilege, you can then take your NFT, and Wagmi-san will turn it into a thing in real life, which turns out isn't that good, plus a hoodie. I think you get a hoodie, a comfy hoodie in real life, an actual physical hoodie, plus a token that is an NFT that resides with you, and we don't know what that is, the leftover thing that you get. The digital object that you get, the physical object you get, is like sort of a plasticky thing, and it will have an image that relates to what you made on it, and commemorates the season 1 of the Wagmi 10 KTF adventure. Now, what's happened is they've had to extend the deadline, perhaps because not enough people redeemed them, and perhaps for the mechanics of season 2, we need a certain number, or it would help if we had a certain number of Kagami in the game. In other digital NFT objects in the game, you've been able to, like the incredibly sharp scissors or the tape measure, you've been able to stake them and then earn ApeCoin, it turns out. With the Kagami, we're not sure what the dynamic's going to be. So my question for you, Jonathan, is as we approach November the 2nd, which is the redeeming deadline for these things, what is going to happen, right? Are more people there are only 40 for sale, redeemable secondary market Kagamis, right? That is not many. So those might sell out. Not all the people have taken what is going on? Why have people got these things that are sitting around? They have not been redeemed. There's only 3 days to go. That's really weird. Point 1. Point 2. If you own one of only, let's say, 400 Kagami in season 2, is the stake value going to be higher because there's so few people owning that equivalent of a tape measure or a tool or a thimble?
No, they will need to sell them out. They will almost need to.
Why?
'Cause 893 is like, it means something, right? So they don't want to have it where it's not 893. I think 893 is like...
But not all of them are going to sell. Not all of them are going to be redeemed.
Do you not think? I think they need to. I get to a point where all of them are redeemed, right?
Is that why they keep extending the deadline? The most recent deadline extension coincided with the announcement of extra large hoodies now also available as a size. So if you've been holding back, you can
because you didn't get an extra large hoodie. Yeah.
You can raise a ticket to change your redemption size.
You know what? It might be a weird reality of is that people in the community are probably, on the one hand, waiting for an ability to flip something for more money, and so there's definitely people who are in that boat, and so they're kind of like stuck because they don't really know what to do. And on the other hand, I think there's an element where maybe people don't want a physical thing. There's so much we've talked about before, like you don't want stuff. They actually like the fact that they can collect things that are truly digital and never get old or lost or dusty or broken or lost in the post or any of that stuff. But there's a third bit, which is the great success of this whole 10 KTF journey has been the narrative setting, and the fact that every Thursday there's some cartoon or thing that comes out which kind of triggers more speculation, more storytelling, more demand. That hasn't happened. So people don't know what these things are going to be used for, and the discords are quite satirical. Everyone's like, oh, it's a rug. Oh, why are they giving me a mirror? If only they just sold me a rug instead, that'd be more funny. You know, these type of like jokes. And people are very adamant that it will have no utility, no functionality in season 2. At least that's what a lot of people are trying to spread as rumours. And I guess what I was expecting, and we may see this by the time this goes out, is that an announcement will come up hinting about how these are used. And I think your thing you messaged me earlier, your speculation might be right. These might be things that you notionally stake them. You get paid in ApeCoin when people use them to transform an NFT item into a real item. So you want your Nike Air Force Ones with your Bored Ape Yacht Club look on the leathers. You need to pay in ApeCoin, and that gets rewarded back to people who own the Kagami. I think that's a mechanism for this. But there could be a million ways that they spin it. I'm not really sure, because we've never been in this situation before where you've had like a mid-season break in an NFT storytelling adventure. It's just a first, isn't it? We were talking about successful stocks earlier in this episode. LVMH doing really, really well. Kering, who own Gucci, doing really, really well. Luxury brands always do well in a recession. It's a horrible rule of the world that rich people keep spending money even when it's a recession. But a lot of them that have played a part in this whole Web3 NFT metaverse world, I think they want to get to a point where they can turn this ridiculous metaverse NFT world still into physical goods that they sell and that they market. And I think the 10KTF story ultimately is about that. What is Wagmi-san's big thing? He's always pictured in front of a portal. This portal takes him from like the floating city of New Tokyo into, I assume, the real world. Owning one of these Kagamis feels like it's the narrative explanation of how you take NFT pixelated picture and you bring it into the real world. So I wonder whether the airdropped Gucci material becomes a way of bringing Gucci merchandise into the real world, whether like the trainers and the bags, which we know are Air Force Ones, and
it's in the nature of a mirror, right? It would be weird if you didn't. Herschel. It'd be weird if you didn't keep your original NFT. You shouldn't have to burn your digital product, but the Kagami makes it into the physical mirror in the real world.
Yeah, exactly. So I think you'll retain all of those things, but then that Kagami that you keep as an NFT, like you said, then you can use that or lend it out through staking for other people to redeem this stuff. And I think that's the ecosystem they'll work with, which is like really limited, bespoke, one-of-one produced material, or as we saw with the hoodie, the dark grey one, their own merchandise hoodie, their own branded stuff, but you buy it through that mechanism using ApeCoin, really bringing ApeCoin into the world as a true form of digital currency, which is quite an interesting one, because I don't think many people have successfully done that. You know, it's been like utility tokens, or it's been some other things, but actually they're really treating it as money. And you pay them money to turn a thing which is truly just a digital drawing into some Nike trainers. That's going to be quite an interesting model. So I still think it'd be dumb if they didn't do that, wouldn't it? If you think about it. Like if this truly just becomes a stupid Raspberry Pi with a round screen, you're just like, what have you done? So let's assume that's not their game plan, because that would be dumb.